Alright, we're back in Perseverance, and Jack is in the cabin in the woods, where he apparently goes to get drunk. But whatever, he didn't drink, because I decided that I didn't want him to. And now he dozes off and is sleeping, and we'll see what happened the next day. And we also met Jane, who coughed up something in blood, so that's probably not good. And someone who looks like Ada from Resident Evil. I presume it's an assassin. Oh, it's Ada! She's back. Somewhere else. Reporting in. What's the status? She's on the move again. I found her tracking device. It looks like she ripped it away with her own teeth. Oh, okay. That was a tracking device that Jane spit up. It's probably Jane. Yeah. I've spoken with the guy who saw her at the local gas station. Seems she got tangled up with the local authorities. Nothing I can't handle. Better not influence your schedule. It won't, sir. Good. You have 24 hours to contain the situation. Keep a low profile. Yes, sir. The additional asset has been involved, by the way. Once the target is contained, we will have another task for you. Understood. There's a bottle on the floor. Okay. It's raining, I guess. Then Saturday 9:13 inside the cabin. That night I slept like a baby. To my own surprise, I woke up fresh and energetic, which is rarely the case. It didn't take me long to realize why. When I looked out the window, I noticed that the sun was already high. I must have been out for at least 10 hours. Which meant I'd wasted my first day. No animal I was interested in would be active in the middle of the day. I opened the window to let in some fresh air. A cool breeze carried the smell of pine cones and wet moss, stirring a feeling of nostalgia. However, I couldn't dwell on it for long. I heard the barking again. The dog had to still be out there, somewhere. What's wrong with that damn mutt? I closed the window, but it got me thinking. Why would a dog still be out there? I decided to check it out. Leaving it like this could be dangerous, especially if the dog was aggressive. Stumbling upon it during a hunt could end badly. I grabbed a pocket knife from the shelf and my bag with Natalie sandwiches. The stuff I had bought from the gas station was still inside. I took my rifle too. If the dog had rabies or some other disease, it would fall on to me to do something about it. Armed, I left the cabin. Oh, forest. Whee! Alright, we're looking at the forest. It's got trees. Classic forest. Saturday, 13:47, forest. Following the barking was difficult. I couldn't use any of my usual tracks, so I walked into the forest blindly. Whenever the dog went silent, I was left without any clues where to go. I just waited patiently for it to start making noise again. Can't say I really minded. In the end, a chance to spend time surrounded by nature was the reason why I'd come here in the first place. Fortunately, but oddly at the same time, it seemed that the dog wasn't moving at all. Like it was just sitting there, barking the whole day. Wandering through the forest took me almost 2 hours. Must have been long past noon when I finally found it. Oh dear. I'd expected many things, but not what I saw. Instead of a stray mutt roaming around, it was a dangerously looking dog tied to a tree. He was a magnificent beast, big and sturdy. I didn't know much about dogs, but even I could recognize a pure breed when I saw one. Looked like he had spent at least a couple days in the forest. Was a bit dirty, but still healthy and strong. There was a bloody wound around his neck. The color must have cut his skin when he struggled to set himself free. Some bastard must have left him here to die. If I had laid my hands on the guy who did this... Just thinking about it made me furious. Someone decided to leave an animal to starve to death. Like he couldn't leave it at a shelter. And why? Out of shame? Because it was a long drive? These are all trivial. Yet there we both were. Hey there, buddy. Dog growling aggressively. Oh, okay. Easy now. Easy. I mean, it's scared and stressed, so yeah, it's gonna be aggressive. I tried to approach the dog, but it turned out more difficult than I expected. I had to focus on keeping all my fingers intact. First of all, I had to free him somehow. Touching the collar was out of the question. Tinkering with it at this point would cause him too much pain. Cutting the rope seemed the better option, but I couldn't do it without getting closer to the dog. I needed to somehow gain his trust. Approach the dog head on, approach the dog from the side. I feel like head on seems actually kind of better, because like the side will just stress him out, right? Because it's like, can't see. We'll see what happens. With the rope tied to his neck, I could more or less predict how far the dog could reach. That's why I decided to approach him head on. In the worst case scenario, I would just get out of his range. Dog growling. Was a poor choice. It didn't attack me, but he definitely felt threatened, for he took a step back and bared his teeth, wrinkling his nose. Barred. I could see it in his eyes that he didn't want to fight me, but he knew that he cannot run away. If I got any closer, he would snap. Avert your gaze, look him in the eye. I mean, eye contact is aggressive. But maybe that's a good thing here, to like assert some sort of dominance. Okay, let's look him in the eye. Among humans, when you want to convey sincerity of your actions, you look the other person straight in the eye. Oh, this is, of course, the wrong choice. But apparently that's not how you do it in the animal kingdom. The more I looked, the more frightened the dog grew. I should have gone with the logic. I got low on his legs, his tail curled, took a step back, but at the same time prepared to make a leap. It wasn't the kind of reaction I wanted. The dog is still angry. Things didn't look good. I was worse at handling dogs than I'd imagined. If things had continued this way, I would never be able to get him to cooperate. If I could just leave him there. I needed to find a solution. Took a step back and watched him push himself up. I tried not to look him in the eyes. Fortunately, I had one more ace up my sleeve. Avert your gaze. I didn't want him to feel challenged, so I gave him space by averting my gaze. I was still worried how he would react, so I watched him from the corner of my eye, ready to back off if needed. But it seemed that the dog finally gained some confidence. He started to wag his tail timidly. Alongside the fear, I caught a glimpse of curiosity. The fangs were still there, but more as a reminder rather than a weapon ready to be used. He was waiting for my next move. I finally got my chance. We were still far from friendly terms, but that was about to change. I reached for my bag and opened it slowly. The lovely smell piqued the dog's attention immediately. I had something no meat-eater would be able to resist, especially not one that just spent a few days stranded in the forest. I fished into the bag and pulled out one of Natalie's sandwiches. Sorry, Nat, it pains me to do it, but it was a necessary sacrifice. I know you would understand if you were here. With a heavy heart, I grabbed one of the sandwiches Natalie made for me yesterday. It's probably not the healthiest food for an animal, but hey, he probably didn't care. Time for worrying about nutritional values would come later. I ripped the packaging apart and threw its content near the dog. It disappeared faster than I thought possible. The dog must have been here for days. Wow, you must have been really hungry, huh? And water. Oh, dog is barking now. He needs water, though. No worries, there's more of it. I unpacked 2 more sandwiches, tossed them to the dog. With his fangs out of the way, I finally had my chance to take care of the rope. It was a thick one with a polyester cover. I didn't know much about ropes, but if I had to guess, I would say it was probably used for climbing or sailing. Somewhere where durability counts. The knot used to tie it around the tree wasn't trivial either. The animal tugged in an attempt to free himself, it only grew tighter. At this point, there was no way to untie it. Not with a pair of sharp teeth ready to bite my arm off. I needed to cut the rope somehow. The problem was that I wasn't sure if I was prepared. I quickly recalled all the things I had with me. I could use Natalie's sandwich, flashlight, energy bar, rifle, pocket knife, batteries. Dude, the batteries though. Honestly, I don't know if the pocket knife is gonna cut it, but like, oh, haha, pun. But like, rifle, that's gonna just scare the dog, like. Well, an obvious choice. What else is a knife for? Sadly, it wasn't that easy. The knife was pretty dull. Still useful for things like opening cans, but Not so much for cutting. With the rope so thick, it would have taken ages before I got through even half of it. I needed something else. I don't know if you can, like, pour out the acid from the batteries. The rifle. Well, shooting through the rope seemed like something that would technically be possible. Probably. I've seen it in movies countless times, but serious doubts if it will work in real life. And yet I concluded that trying would be a poor choice, not only if I couldn't predict if it would really work, but the sound of shooting would terrify the dog. Yeah, right? Moreover, I could hurt him in the process. I need to come up with something else. Batteries? I intended to use the batteries I bought at the station, the flashlight, but so far I had neither the chance nor the need to do it. I took one out of the packaging. Flashlight? No, just no. There's no way to use a flashlight to cut. Wait, I have an idea! The flashlight itself was useless to me now, but the light bulb could be used for various things. Starting a fire was one of them. Took the flashlight apart and picked the bulb. I had all the things I needed. Now is the time to set my plan in motion. Using the pocket knife, I broke the light bulb to expose the tungsten filament. I placed it under the rope and carefully touched the base of the bulb with the battery. The filament lit up immediately. The heat allowed me to melt the cover of the rope, which made cutting it much easier. As I was cutting the rope with my knife, I kept watching the dog. He sat there and was growling from time to time. I knew that he would attack if he sensed hesitation or fear. Dogs respond to emotions. I focused on the rope and tried not to think about him snapping at me. It took me a couple of minutes, but eventually, the dog was free. Hey buddy, your prison time's over. What do you want to do now? Now that you have much... Blah. What do you want to do now, not that you have much choice? Sorry mate, but you look like a typical lap dog. Staying here is out of the question. Plus, your neck looks pretty bad. Someone should take care of it. Perhaps I know a guy, but I need to come with me back to my cabin. It's an hour's walk from here. So what do you think? You up for a stroll? Rough. I'll take it as a yes. It probably wasn't a yes. The dog was so wary and rather hesitant to follow me. No wonder. It was impossible to tell how long he had been tied to that tree. Thankfully, last of the sandwiches did the trick. Achievement unlocked Savior. Oh, it's Jane. Somewhere else. Oh no! Something happened to Jane. Inside Jane, I guess. Saturday, 16:01, outside the cabin. I was able to lead the dog all the way back to the cabin. I pulled my phone out and called for reinforcements. I knew how to patch up small scratches, but this guy needed someone more skilled than me. Phone ringing. Hi, veterinarian boy. Hi, Jack. You remember. You must have been good with ladies. Yeah, sure. I need your help. You know a thing or two about treating animals, right? Yeah, a thing or two. Why? You had a change of heart about shooting animals? No, I still hold my point. But I found a dog tied to a tree. Some bastard left him there to die. He's in bad shape. You beat up the guy? No, but I would have if I had the chance. Anyway, the dog needs your attention. Wow, I mean, it's awful. Let me just grab my gear and I'll be right there. Are you going to leave your store unattended? Yeah, 2 hours won't hurt me. I've earned the weekend's money already. The troops that I arrived recently at Murphy's base left a lot of cash. Alright, thanks man, see you soon. Saturday, 17:23, inside the cabin. Bob came earlier than I expected. My guess was he had been speeding all the way. Hey Jack, where's the patient? You don't waste time, do you? Over there. Took some convincing to get the dog to walk through the door, but in the end, a prospect of a warm place to rest won him over. Bob approached the animal slowly. He clicked his tongue to get the dog's attention. Then he extended his hand so the dog could smell it. Unlike me, he seemed to know exactly what to do. Bob reached down to remove the collar. I wondered if he would be able to keep his hands intact. Fortunately, he was. Not only that, he also managed to clean the wound, even though the dog clearly wasn't happy about it. The animal began growling and leaning away, but the fearless man grabbed him firmly. The dog calmed down. Yeah, sometimes it calms down. Like, if they, if they kind of understand that, like, from what I know, little I know about dogs, whatever, that if it's clearly established that you're higher in the hierarchy than the dog, and, you know, also that you're just firm, you're not hesitant, whatever, then it's like, dog's like, I don't like this, but fine. I mean, I guess with people, too, it's like, if you seem like you know what you're doing, people are just gonna buy it at first. Although I wouldn't openly admit it, I was impressed. Okay. I would have never guessed that a simple guy from a gas station knew so much about handling animals. To be honest, I used to look down on him. The someone's working at a gas station says literally nothing about the what? Oh my god, this dude is so full of it. I don't know why exactly he had abandoned his studies. He seemed amazingly skilled. I doubted it was because of poor marks. Well, well. Alright, I did as much as I could. The wound isn't actually that bad. His neck's swollen, and there was some bleeding, but the cut wasn't deep. And he's a tough little fellow. But remember, in the end, I'm not a specialist. You should take him to a professional. Yeah, I know. It's just that there's no vet around here, and driving this fellow back home with that wound would have been pretty hard on him. That's why I called you. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be open to trips with strangers yet. I also brought you some dog food. Don't give him too much at once. If he didn't eat for a few days, he might not digest it properly. Give him water. Water, 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 water. Anyway, what will you do with him? I don't know yet. When I found him, I just had to help him. I didn't have much time to think about what to do with him later. I don't feel like giving him away to a shelter. Maybe you could take him? Seem to trust you. I would love to have a dog, but you know fully well that I can't, Jack. Don't tempt me. Why not? You seem to be doing pretty well these days, and... No. Just no. You don't know how serious my debts are. I won't take responsibility for a living creature when I can't predict if I'll be able to pay my own bills next month. I think there's a word missing here. How did a young guy like you get in such debts? Well, long story short, back when I was still studying, me and my brother took over our father's company. It was in pretty bad shape, but we were sure we could restore it and start making money again. I even dropped out of college to have enough time to make it work. It did not work out. The amount of work overwhelmed both of us, but we didn't want to give up. We were stubborn people, me and my brother. Eventually, we went to a bank for a loan. That's how we ended up in debt. At one point, my brother decided that was all my fault, that I hadn't done enough, that I was slacking. He accused me of all his bad decisions. I snapped and left. I've taken his gun with me. A few months later, I ended up here. Sounds tough. Yeah, I doubt there's anything worse than losing your close one's support. Sometimes it's better to leave than to manage with a tough person. But hey, it's all water under the bridge, unless my brother comes after me to collect his gun. I didn't know you own a gun. Well, I need to look after my business. You never know. So what do you intend to do with the dog? Actually, I was talking with Hope about adopting a dog yesterday, right before we started arguing. You seem to argue with your family a lot recently. I can sense your anger, Jack. Yeah, he seems, like, aggressive, Jack, just overall. It's very confrontational. Oh, really? What is it? Does my aura give it away? See, it comes out again. Doesn't matter if you believe me or not. Ugh. Anyway, Hope accused me of not spending enough time with her, so I was thinking maybe getting her a dog would be a good way of reconnecting with her. Sounds like what she needs is your love, not a pet. A dog was just her way of drawing your attention. I know. Seems like a good start, right? Sure, any reason to spend more time with your kid is good. Should give the dog a name. A name. Coming up with one was always tricky. It would have taken weeks if I was to really think it through. I decided to just go with what came to my mind now. I look at the dog. He tilted his head. First idea was pretty simple. Odin, the Norse god... How is that your first thought? Odin, the Norse god of war, victory, and hunting, was a good, strong name. Also not someone that you can really count on and pretty unpredictable, but sure. Second name that came with me was Xander. As a boy, I really hated learning history, yet I always liked listening about Alexander the Great. seem more thrilling than the rest of the subjects. I wouldn't mind naming a dog after him. Ew. Last idea emerged when I thought about Hope. What was this favorite movie of hers called? Dragon something. And there's a dragon. There... And where is... Wait, what does it say? And where's a dragon? I presume it's supposed to be, and where there is a dragon, there must be a brave knight to defeat it. No, there really does not. That's just some Western old stereotype thing that dragons are evil. It doesn't have to be. This guy here was big enough to be called Knight. I decided to go with... Oh, crap. Yeah, let's name the dog Oh Crap. Blah, 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 blah. I would like to, like, leave this choice up to you all, but I need to continue recording, so I can't. Well, I get no. I won't have time to get your answers. I'm sorry. But tell me anyways what you would have done in every choice, obviously, here. I think... Okay, I think that Xander looks most like it fits the dog. Odin, for me, would be like a gray dog. This one looked like yellow. Knight, I don't know. Xander... sounds like a yellow name. But Odin is like cool. Well, just because it's Norse mythology. Baby. Knight is kind of out for me. Fine, let's go with Odin because it's Norse mythology. I'll name him Odin. Fits him well. By the way, Jack, there's one more thing I need to tell you. Don't tell me you and Nat have an affair. I would have to shoot you right here. Please don't. I still got my debts to pay off. What is it then? There was this chick at the station asking for Hal. She said she knew you. Oh, yeah. No. I mean, she's just a chick I met and wanted to help. She seemed out of place. At first I thought she was kind of junky. She gave me this really weird feeling. She was shivering too. Anyway, Hal took her to the station, so she's not my problem anymore. But that's not all. Another woman arrived last evening asking after that chick. There was something about her I couldn't quite put my finger on. And boy, was she a stunner. You should have seen her. She was lean like a dough. What was I saying? The other woman. Oh, yeah, she asked about a military base. I thought she might be a spook or something. A spook? You've been watching too many action flicks, Chief. What? I don't even know what a spook is. I'm telling you, man, something's going down. So many new soldiers arrived yesterday. Now this woman? There's also a guy with a briefcase this morning and he... Hold up, Bob. You're getting carried away. It's just another weekend in town. Only with some outsiders traveling through. Jack keeps doing this. He keeps, like, interrupting people and just being like, oh, no, you're just imagining things. You are incorrect because, I know what's going on. Let people talk, Jack. It's not about you. Yeah, you're probably right. Like, I understand his reaction, but it's like, why is he just interrupting with his super negative ways? Maybe I'm just making him more negative than he seems, but, like, he seemed pretty negative to me. Like... Damn. You all down in the dumps, though. Better head back. Got a business to run. See you later, Chief. When Bob left, I approached Odin. I decided to try Bob's trick to see if I can get a similar result. I clicked my tongue and extended my hand. At first, the dog just sniffed my palm, reluctant to do anything more. But after a brief moment of hesitation, he licked my fingers. I took it as a good sign. It was the start. Please tell me you have given the dog water. Does this mean we're friends now? I scratched his back, causing a lot of tail wagging, which is what I had thought. He was a lapdog. His previous aggression must have been caused by a mix of fear and pain. As I patted him on his head, he was nothing more but a giant pet. A pet with a jaw full of fangs and enough biting force to take your hand off. Still a pet. is literally like every pet that humans keep. Just like, could potentially kill me, but they're cute, so we're gonna keep them as animals in our houses. Whee! Makes sense from an outside perspective. Hope would love him for sure. Funny that. I came here to escape from all the tension with Natalie, but thanks to my new friend, I wanted to go back. I want to see the surprise on their faces. I want to see how happy Hope would be and how Natalie, unsure at first, would change her mind as soon as she saw them playing together. I knew it wouldn't resolve all our issues. Yeah, like it will resolve none of them exactly. That I would still need to face my shortcomings. The dog gave me a starting point. I knew what to do and had the confidence to do it. It didn't take Odin long to start frolicking around. I wasn't against a little wrestle playing, but knowing that the wound on his neck was still pretty fresh, I tried to do this as carefully as possible. I don't think that's how you spell frolicking, right? Frolicking. Yet, when nearly 30 kilos of deadly fluffiness jumped me, I got overturned in a moment. I was too afraid to grab the dog by the skin. Soon I regretted I hadn't done it, as our little play caused additional costs. I heard a loud crack near my right pocket. Okay, body, stop. That's enough. No, Odin, enough. Sit. When I finally managed to get from under the dog, I reached into my pocket only to find that my phone took the whole enterprise pretty badly. The screen was covered in cracks, the battery went loose, and the frame above the speaker was smashed. For a second I thought it was done for. Fortunately, as soon as I put the battery back in, the phone came back to life. The case was cracked, but it was still usable. Whew! In the end, I decided to call it a night. It had been a long day. I planned on going for a hunt in the morning, so hitting the bed early was crucial. Oh, somewhere else. Oh, she angry though. Ada. Reporting in. This is not a scheduled call, Agent. The woman got away. No one told me what to expect of her. She attacked several people at the hospital. I saw her. Calm down, Agent. This wasn't in the briefing. The girl basically bit her way out of the hospital and jumped off a third-story window. She was... I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. And others? The locals were shocked. Sheriff wants to organize a manhunt. I've already seen soldiers from the military base moving around the town. Town will undergo a quarantine in a matter of 2 hours. This should make your second task easier. Your briefing? Listen to me. If what she's carrying is infectious, your quarantine won't be able to contain it. People will die. I need to find her. Calm down, Agent. Focus on your second target and let us do our part. What about my extraction? You'll figure something out. Your task is to secure the scientist and get him out alive. And the second asset? He's none of your concern. Find the scientist. Get him out alive. Bring him to us. Do not fail this time. We will be very sorry to see you go. Oh ho ho. Alright. We'll pause right there. Seems appropriate. And yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see ya.